So Joe Biden was interviewed on 60 Minutes last night, and it was a calamity. So first up, at the beginning of the interview, they did a disclaimer, and I've never seen this before. They said, the president's almost 81. He's under a lot of stress. He's very tired. He's squeezing us in. If you're not up to the job, you need to tell us that now. This is part of the reason other countries see us as weak right now, because Joe Biden has to have disclaimers at the beginning of his interviews. You are not the manager of a softball team. You're the manager of the United States. I guess Joe Biden didn't realize that his schedule is published online every single day. We can see that he has almost nothing on his schedule. Now, in the interview, he was asked about running for a second term. They basically said, why do you need to have a second term as president? Joe Biden responds and basically says he's going to bring us world peace in a second term. He says he can fix the situation in Ukraine, the situation in Israel, the situation over here. Sir, we didn't have these situations until you were in office. I welcome folks on the left, the right, the middle, none of the above on my page, all across the political spectrum, but let's just have some semblance of truth. We didn't have all of these issues until Biden was in office, and now the people connected to Hamas, they're saying they see Biden as weak, and that's part of the reason they went into Israel. Even Jake Sullivan, the president's national security advisor, he's been called out in the past 24 hours by his own party because he said, oh, the situation in the Middle East is quiet, it's quieter than it's been in 2 decades, and then Hamas goes into Israel the next day. Is everyone in this administration asleep at the wheel? Where was the intelligence? You're the national security advisor, and the national security isn't so secure. Let's be honest, Joe Biden asleep at the wheel. Kamala Harris, she cackles on cue and then she goes home. The national security advisor not doing his job either. Who is working in the White House? I also have to point out, in the 60 Minutes interview, Joe Biden was asked about Hezbollah and their backer Iran, and he said, don't. That's his foreign policy plan. Don't. In conclusion, I have to say this. Joe Biden would be 86 at the end of a second term. He's a career politician who's been around for decades. He and a lot of his cronies are the reason we have so many of these problems. And that's on both sides of the aisle. That's the two-party system. But this notion that he's going to magically fix everything in a second term, that is a political talking point. That has no basis in reality or truth. And if the past teaches us anything about the future, Joe Biden isn't the guy to fix all these problems. All right, thank you guys for liking and following. Drop a comment and tell me how you feel. You know I'm always down for an open dialogue. I have so much more to say, so be sure to come back. Bye.